Good morning and welcome to my garden. If you watched the video where I built this garden, you know it exists. If you're new here, welcome. I made this garden at the beginning of the summer and I'd like to update you guys on where it is currently, my successes, my failures, and we're going to do a little bit of garden chores today. I don't know about where you live, but here in the Front Range in Colorado, we've been going through a horrible heat wave. It's been overall like really hot, hotter than normal all summer, honestly, like since the end of May. Essentially, when I made this garden, which was the last week of May, it was already like in the 90s and it has not cooled off since. So that is just to preface the conditions that we have been working with. When I built this garden, I ordered soil from a landscaping company to be cost effective. I will say I don't feel like the soil was like the best quality in the world. After putting it in the bed and seeing the quality and touching it and also just seeing how the plants have been growing, I don't feel like the soil was of good quality. It was very, very sandy, very little compost, even though they claimed it was supposed to be like 30 or 40% compost. I really don't believe that. So after like a month of seeing little to no growth in any of my plants, I ordered some earthworms from a earthworm farmer online. And the first time the earthworms came, it was during like the peak of the heat wave. It was over 100 degrees for multiple days in a row, and them bad boys died in transit, y'all. They arrived to me so rotten and stinky and horrible, but the company happily sent me a new batch, and those arrived alive, and so I divvied them out amongst the garden beds. That was a very interesting process. I never imagined that I would be the type of person who would be ordering worms online, but here we are. We're over 30, we're thriving. Okay? So I put the earthworms in. I purchased my own compost from Ace Hardware. Our local Ace Hardware uses city compost and package it up and sells it for a very decent price. It's like $3 a bag or something. And so I bought a few bags of that and amended the soil around all of my plants. And so since then, I have been adding some soil amendments and fertilizers like every 2 or 3 weeks to the soil. I could probably be doing it weekly if I had a more variety and like had a lot of money and time, but I'm doing what I can with like vegetable food that is store-bought and also amending with compost soil every few weeks. And so we're gonna do some of those tasks today, but let me show you around and talk about some things that I've been experiencing in this space. Okay. This is my shade cloth that I use to cover up my tomatoes and peppers when it's like over 100 degrees. Let's move this. All right. So at the entrance of the garden, we have the pepper bed and it's doing all right. Again, everything was very slow growing at the beginning. This stuff has been planted for 2 months, if not a little more, and it really should be a lot more prolific than this, in my opinion. But we have some things growing that we're definitely going to harvest today. These are bell peppers, even though they look like poblanos. We have bell peppers, we have shishitos, we have some other type of spicy boy, what's this? Oh no, it's not a spicy boy. This is a sweet pepper, like a tiny snacking bell pepper. That's supposed to be like a big daddy. This big daddy sweet pepper, and it's supposed to turn yellow. We will see if that happens. Some of these bell peppers have been here a little bit too long, and so they're starting to like go bad, but this one is starting to turn red. That's kind of cool. Look at that little grasshopper friend. So in this patch I have planted some lettuce, sporadic lettuce here and there. This is the only lettuce in this pepper bed that we've been able to eat from all season so far because it's the only lettuce that has been growing. I'll show you over here where I planted 2 rows of lettuce right next to the tomatoes. All of this stuff is literally the exact same size. Like, have you ever seen anything like this? I've been gardening for so long. I've never had starters just completely stunt like this. They either grow or they die. Like, these guys are just like here. But that has been very bizarre because I planted lettuces kind of sporadically all throughout the garden, and literally only the ones in this front bed with the peppers. Let me take off these headphones that are totally broken. Only these lettuces that were in the pepper bed actually grew. So first weird thing. Next to the peppers, I planted 2 acorn squash plants, and one tip I'm pretty sure I said in that initial video is that I personally always like to plant more than I need, because kind of what you'll see here, it's like not everything works, survives, takes to the transplant, and so you don't want to limit yourself to only being like, okay, squash plants tend to grow a ton of squash and they're really big. I'm only going to plant one because that's all I need to eat. But like, what if you only plant that one and then it dies, or it's like stunted, or squirrels eat all of them or something like that? Like, you did all of that for nothing. So I was happy that I planted 2 acorn squash plants, because look at this one. It's giving, it's a strawberry. It's a strawberry. It's a strawberry. You know that trend? Like that, what the heck happened to this guy? But luckily this one's growing really well. And I actually have a squash, an acorn squash. It looks like it's being attacked by things. So I may try and harvest that, because I want to eat it before someone else tries to. But that is a whopping success. I thought I was going to get 2. You see that one here? But this has shriveled up and died. So this is my one precious baby. Okay. After that, we have a cauliflower patch here with varying levels of success. Like, this is the most bizarre thing I have personally ever experienced. A lot of this stuff is bolting. Like, my lettuce and stuff in this bed has started to bolt as well, because again, it's been really, really hot consistently. And so this guy I thought was going to make a head of cauliflower, and maybe it still will, I'm not sure, but it's the biggest, healthiest one we have. This one bolted. She's bolted, gone to seed. This one's bolted and gone to seed. This one is growing super slowly, still pretty small. Like, I'm not sure what to say about that. And then we have the purple cabbage here, which has done next to nothing. Like, I think it only just now is starting to grow. And keep in mind, when I planted this, like, I planted cauliflower, cabbages. Those things are technically cold weather vegetables, and so I understood that like it was going into summer and they may or may not survive, and I planted it with that in mind. So they didn't. I'm hoping that I can keep them happy, and like not every single one will bolt before the weather breaks, because then if the weather breaks and cools off, they may take off. I don't know. We'll see. But they certainly haven't died, so that's that. These are some random perennials that, like, some of them have even died from the heat that I need to plant, but we will get to that later. Let's head inside of the garden so I can show you the rest. So here I have 2 strawberry beds. The strawberries were very prolific at the beginning of the summer. We got a nice harvest, multiple harvests, but when it gets really hot, strawberries don't really produce that much. So I'm hoping that we start to see some more berries growing, like once the weather breaks. I did see some flowers pop up. I did start to see some flowers popping back up on them, so maybe they will start producing again. You see these 2 empty trellises? Let's have a moment. I planted 6 cucumber plants, every single one, those 3. This one, look, what the? No, nothing. No, wait, oh my god, there's a little mutant cucumber on this one. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. I have no words. I can't tell you why. Oh, let's talk about, if you watch that initial video, please, squirrels, don't come fighting over my head. All this damn riffraff out here in the morning, child. These squirrels be tussling, and they all over my head. I don't want nothing to, I don't want anything to fall on my head. Anyway, I planted dozens of onion starts amongst the strawberries, amongst these other beds. Not one onion lived to tell the tale. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, after the purple cabbage, we got some kale here. This kale is only just starting to grow. Like, I kid you not, they stayed this big for 2 months. Like, this is the biggest they've been, and I'm really happy that they have finally joined the party. And then we've got some lettuces that have been like stunted for months, finally starting to join the party. These green beans, they are planted along the front. They're bush green beans. It has been too hot for them to survive as well, so they have just been growing and dying and growing and dying. Okay, yep. And then we have this fennel here, which I think is kind of just starting to do something. This one is going to seed, so we don't know if I'll get to eat that. But these kind of as well just stayed stunted for quite a while. And that just goes to show you, like, it's so interesting the way, like, nature is gonna thrive no matter what, but it's so weird when we try and, like, cultivate things. It's, like, so picky and finicky and hard to do, and it requires all of these certain circumstances and stuff. But when you don't have quality soil, when you don't have the things that you need, like the good foundation that you need for growing, things actually will not grow as easily as you think. And this whole experience has kind of like made me feel very grateful for being a part of the community garden that I was a part of for so long, because the resources and the education and the materials were so abundant and affordable, if not free, and the garden had been there for decades. And so no matter what plot you were put in, your stuff was going to grow. Like, you didn't even have to be good at gardening, your stuff was going to grow because the soil was literally so rich. And I'm learning that, like, starting from scratch is not easy at all. Like, it's not. So anyway, after the fennel, we have some dino kale, which is looking very raggedy. I have not harvested anything from this, and I think that I really should because something is enjoying it without me. But this was also another plant that like didn't want to grow at first, but now it's looking pretty great. So we're gonna harvest some of that today. These are my collard greens. Unfortunately, a lot of them have started to go to seed, like this guy. And this one looks like maybe it's starting, but maybe I could eat some of these young leaves. These two in the front look all right, but we'll get some of that today too. These squirrels are doing too much. Oh my gosh. All right, you see how some of these like green bean plants are like, it's so sad. I don't know how to help them, honestly. I'm really doing my best here. So these are some cabbages. I think these cabbages are gonna be all right. They're back here, back against the fence, and it seems like they really like this spot. You can tell that they're starting to form heads on the inside, so that's really nice. I'm just hoping that we can see it to the end. Now over here on this row, I had 3 rows of zucchini. It is August. There should be so much zucchini here, and these plants have been struggling to freaking survive. I have never in my life struggled to grow zucchini. If you're a gardener, you know that's the one plant that's like impossible to kill. There were 3 of them here. That's what's left of this guy. I water regularly, you guys. Like I don't know why the plants are showing such variety of success. These have flowered multiple times, and it's only been male flowers. Same thing with this guy, which is my 1 out of my 2 pumpkins I planted. There's the second one that just like did not want to live. So many flowers, all of them are male. Why? When you have like items in the squash family, even cucumbers, they flower, and the flowers, there are 2 different types. You have a male flower and a female flower, and at the female flower there's like a bulb at the base of the flower that becomes the fruit, but it needs to be pollinated from pollen from the male flower, which is why the birds and the bees and the butterflies or whatever, the flies, whatever, are doing that, or you can do it by hand. I have been searching this plant every single day looking for a female flower. They're all male flowers. It's just really pretty flowers. Those are the ones that like restaurants will like turn into squash blossoms, like stuffed squash blossom appetizers. But I don't want no damn appetizers. I want a pumpkin. I want a gosh darn pumpkin. All right, here are my tomato plants. Only just starting to pop off as well. Like, these have been doing pretty good over the last month. They went from being like tomatoes, they don't play. Like once they feel like they got the environment they need, they rock it off. And one thing I definitely need to do today is prune these tomatoes. Like, I told myself I was going to do it last week while they were small, and literally within a week, like, they've gotten so big. But essentially when you prune them, you prune off stuff like this. You see this? You see how there's a stem here and a stem there, and then there's a small stem growing in the crack of the 2. That's what I want to cut off, and I want to go do that through the whole plant on all 6 of the plants. In the middle here we have like cherry tomatoes. They're sun golds and they're delicious. And then I think these outer 4 in the cages are more of your like beefsteak slicing tomato. Hopefully I get some pumpkins. Let's see if we can get a pleasant surprise here. Like, do you see this flower? Oh no, y'all. I don't know. So many flowers, so little fruit. Very, very frustrating. The variegated leaves are quite beautiful though. Let's see, get a nice big flower here. Nope. Alright. No pumpkins growing yet. Yeah. So, that's the garden. That's what's growing so far. Oh yeah, wait, I have some accessory potted things. Let me show you. These are, I think, another like zucchini, maybe yellow squash or something. Yeah, no, not happy. And it also has bloomed multiple times, and it's always been a male flower. And so no fruit. And lastly, back here, I have melons. These melons got a little bit crispy, I think, but it looks like the new growth is looking all right. And there are 3 of them. These as well have also flowered a lot, but no fruit, so that's a bummer. But I don't know, maybe it'll turn around. Maybe it'll turn around. I'm hoping it will. The heat wave breaks in 2 days, I think. And I'm very much looking forward to that, okay? Very much looking forward to that. All right, so before I start some plant chores, I gotta show you guys what I absolutely scored at an estate sale recently. Come on, let's go over here. Look at all of these pots. Look at this. Look at this. Do you see? Lilo, do you see? Look at all these pots. I scored 12 large plastic, cute, in good condition planters with solid soil, like some really nice soil inside of them, for $2 each at an estate sale the other day. $2 each. All of this cost me $25. Yes, Lilo. Isn't that exciting? $25. I'm so excited about this. I want to plant some seeds, some sunflower seeds in some of these, and maybe some other stuff. I don't know, whatever I can dig up in my seed collection book. I don't even have words. I'm like getting that thrill that I had the other day. I don't know if anyone's like a secondhand shopper, estate sale hunter, that bag, but you know, if you know, the feeling of a good deal, nothing like it. So we're gonna play with these today as well. I got, in addition to these 12 pots, I also got 2 plant stands. Very simple. Can you even see it? Yeah, you can see it. See? 2 of these. I don't have pots for them yet. None of these pots actually fit in these plant stands. Now that I'm thinking about it, I probably should have gotten a couple pots that fit in them, because she had a lot more. I was really restraining myself. But I got some other tools and stuff too. I'm going to show you. I got these tools. Like just some hand tools, some trowels, some little shears. And I also got some larger hand tools. And all of these tools, by the way, were like either $1, $2, or like 50 cents. I'm not even kidding. I got this cool rake hoe combo for weeding. I got this trash grabber for picking up litter in my front yard because kids suck. And also a pressure wash hose attachment thingy for my hose. Love that. There's actually a couple tools missing. I think my husband took them to use them because I had like a couple more little hand shears and I think one other hand trowel. But all in all, I spent less than $50 and got some awesome stuff for the yard. We love an estate sale in this house, and I have literally stocked my garage and my shed 90% estate sales, and it's good quality items. Like I try not to go for the raggedy old torn up stuff just because we like the good quality stuff. So yes, let's jump into some chores. I don't have to water right away this morning because it rained quite a bit last night. Thank you, Mother Nature. So I'm actually going to hop in my car and head to a feed and supply store because I need to mulch. I need to mulch more than anything, you guys. You saw my soil is naked, and I've never gardened that way before, if I'm being honest with you. But like I was saying, at the community garden, it was included. Like the mulch was included. And I've realized like doing it alone, it's so much more expensive to do by yourself, you guys. Like take advantage of community gardens if you have them in your neighborhood and your community, because it really is awesome. Like $60 for the whole year and you get everything that you need. Like hang it up. I didn't know how good I had it, y'all. But I found a local feed and supply store that has bales of hay. So I'm going to go get a bale of hay because that is my preferred mulch in the vegetable garden. And then we'll come back and get some garden stuff done. You guys, I'm at the feed supply and they have animals. Look at the animals. Look, it's a donkey. I have never in my life been this close to a donkey. Hi, donkey. Hi. You're really cute. What else I got really cute? Oh my god, look, it's a goat. You see the goat? Oh my god. Wait until I go home and tell my husband I fed a donkey. Okay. Oh, you can't see it? But there's hay back there. Okay, let's go back home. It's a few hours later in the morning because I had other errands to run and it took much longer than I expected. But we have hay. And I've changed my clothes because it's hot already, y'all. And also hay is really messy and I did not want it to be rubbing up against my clothes. So here we are in pants, even though it's very, or leggings, even though it's very, very hot. But we'll see how much I can get done this morning before it becomes too unbearable, and I'll come back out in the afternoon to finish up. But for now, we're gonna rock with it. First thing I wanna do is fertilize the soil. So I'm gonna grab my plant food. I'll show you what that looks like. And I'm gonna just sprinkle it around the base of every plant. Yeah. And we're also gonna plant some seeds, I think. I think that's a good idea. Plant some fall crop seeds to see if we can get something to sprout. Everything I plant is most likely going to be somewhere between 60 and 75 days till harvest. Just knowing that it's the beginning of August and Our first frost is normally in October. It can be earlier, but that's something. And if it's carrots, which is what I really want to plant, I don't have any carrots right now, it'll still survive past frost. So let's see what we can plant today as well. This is the plant food that I'm gonna use. It's nothing fancy, but I like it so far. It's easy to apply and the plants seem to like it. So let's do this. I'm happy that half of the garden is still in shade. I should probably hurry up before it's not. I am done with this. It's empty now. My hand looks crazy. I need to wash it off. But I totally forgot to tell you guys about one of the coolest things I've done to try and add to the health of this soil, and that is direct in-ground compost bottles. Let me show you. So I saw this hack from a creator online where she was taking old bottles, water bottles, juice bottles, stuff like that, and putting it into the ground with holes in it and the top cut off so that she could put her fruit scraps right into the bottle, and the fruits break down and leach the goodness into the soil and feed the soil. I've seen multiple gardeners use this technique, including like old Asian grannies and old Caribbean grannies. So that's how I knew, like, okay, it's a tried and true method. And I'm gonna show you mine. I have 9 compost bottles spread around this garden. So this is what one of mine looks like. It has some rocks normally on it like this for squirrel deterrent. And this is what it looks like. You can't really see very well down in there, but it's all black, rotting fruit in there. Let's see if I can find a better one. And then I just push this lid in as far as it can go, and then bury it with the rocks. The first week that I put these in, I made the mistake of filling it too high with fruit, and the lid was kind of poking out, and there wasn't anything to like cover the lid, so the squirrels came and ate my fruit like literally within 2 days. So afterwards I made sure that I only put the fruit halfway so that the lid is bare, essentially below ground level, so that I can put rocks on top, and that has solved that problem. Like, they have not come back to get any of the old fruit. See in there? Oh my gosh, it's so dark. But just know there's about 3 inches of rotten fruit in there. No, it doesn't smell. No, I don't have flies. Again, I really think it's because I keep it quite low and in the ground, and it's covered, like it's not an issue. So yeah, that is a cool tip. I have been enjoying that so far. I purchased some solar lights for the garden, and I have them here charging up right now. It says it needs 8 to 12 hours of a good charge for like peak performance. So I have had those going since this morning, and so by tonight hopefully we can install them, and not the hands, let me rinse this hand off. We can install them and hopefully see some lights tonight. I think I have some string lights that I could also like put up here on the deck to match the vibe. I don't know, we'll see. Let me clean my hand off. I have these, I think it's like sunflowers, different type of sunflowers, and maybe some marigold seeds in this jar that my friend gave me last year. I like to plant them and see if I can get them to grow. I really hope I do. I'm kind of scared because I don't want to waste them. But I'm gonna put them in the big blue pots and see if we can get some fall sunflowers with this. Next, I'm going to plant some perennial flowers. I have this, is that focus? Snapdragons and thyme. My gosh, these are so tiny. Looks like dust. That's crazy. Okay. I don't even think these need to be covered with soil. That's how small they are. Super tiny seeds like this tend not to need much seed depth when you plant them because they're so small. Like, I don't think I really need to cover that at all, for real. What does it say? 1/8 of an inch. So yeah, practically the surface. Thyme. All right, let's do poppy. I've got some popsicle sticks here and a Sharpie so I can label my pots and I know what's growing in them. I say it with that tone because I haven't always had this foresight, so. So in this area where one of the zucchini plants died, I want to make a carrot patch. So I'm going to loosen up the soil and amend it with some compost and plant these rainbow blend heirloom carrots. I'm pretty sure in that clip where I am planting the carrots, my camera may be cut off because the sun, okay? I'm getting to that point. It's after noon and I don't want to be out here anymore. So I am going to quickly put down hay or straw, whatever you call it, all on the garden and skedaddle in the house. The other chores that I want to do, like harvest and prune the tomatoes and put the light, all that stuff will have to happen this afternoon, which is fine because the solar lights needed time to charge anyway, so I was going to have to come back out here either way. Oops. I'm visualizing what it could be like to have like some pots right here with these stands, but I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to be out here anymore. Let me run to the shade. Oh my god. It's truly so much better in the shade. Okay. Whew, the boob sweat is ridiculous right now, you guys. Um, I'm going to mulch this garden, and I'm sure it'll be just as happy as me because the way I feel in the shade is the way the soil is going to feel once I shade it with mulch, which will therefore make the plants happier because hopefully, like the roots systems won't feel like they're literally cooking. Uh, yeah, let's do it. So with the help of Jay, I was able to get things harvested. We got a water in. I got the tomatoes nice and pruned. They're looking skinny. Now the tomatoes actually have room to grow and more energy can be put into ripening and producing fruit. So that's really exciting. And I'm so happy to finally have these chores done. They've been looming over my head for weeks and I'm just happy to get it done. So lastly, I want to put out these, what do you call it? Solar lights. So let's do that. All right, friends, we are finished with all of those garden chores and the garden refresh. It is looking fantastic now. I'm so happy to finally have some mulch down, even though we are, midsummer, nearing the end of summer. It's better late than never, okay? The garden lights, I think I like the positioning. I had to tell myself, like, don't overthink it. You can always move them around, like if you don't like the way the vibe is looking. So we'll see what that looks like tonight, and I will insert a little clip. Hopefully it doesn't storm again, because I do want to throw something on a grill. But I'm very happy with the little harvest that we have. Even though the garden's been low-key struggling, like, we still have a little bit of abundance, so I'm very grateful for that, and just the time that it has given back to me to, like, connect with nature and have my hands in some soil and just be outside, away from being enclosed in four walls and, like, crunched over a screen all the time, I love that. So yeah, I hope that your garden is doing great, probably much better than mine. And if you don't have a garden, maybe I inspired you to throw some seeds in a pot on your porch next year. You never know. Okay. See you later. Bye.